YouTube. Welcome back to the Mobley Culture, y'all. Today I'm gonna be talking about how I grew my hair to waist length. As you can see, my hair is straight. I got my hair straightened the other day to get some, layers cut in it and to have my annual trim. And I posted a picture on my Facebook and Instagram page that said, if you feed it, it'll grow. And I got a lot of responses from that, from a lot of people asking me how I grew my hair so long, what products I use and all that good stuff, and any tips. So I thought, why not make a video about it? It'd be much easier. So this is the video, just kind of explaining the things that I did to get my hair to waist length. Now, this is not something that I intentionally did. When I started on my natural hair journey in 2017, my goal was not to grow my hair waist length. My hair's never been this long. I've always had long hair most of my life, except for when I cut it, but it's never been quite this long. So this is a record for me. But I guess just over the last 4 years, I just didn't bother to cut it, and it just kept growing. I have about 9 tips here on how to grow your hair waist length if that's your goal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a few pictures of where I started, like where the length of my hair was when I started my journey, how long it was. I'm going to show a few pictures of what my hair looked like when after I washed it, when I first started, and what it looks like now. So stay tuned to the end of the video to see those pictures, and we're going to go ahead and get to this video. So first tip is, and this is like probably one of the most important ones. Well, actually, all 9 of my tips are kind of important, but if you really want your hair to grow and grow consistently, it has to be healthy. And one of the elements to having healthy hair is to minimize heat. I want to say stop using heat altogether, but I realize for some people that's kind of difficult. I understand, because when I first made the decision to go natural, and now first just let me say that I stopped relaxing my hair in 2014, but I continued to use flat irons and blow dryers on a regular basis. And then in 2017 is when I stopped using heat, and I went 1 whole year without using heat. And it really does make a difference in the health of your hair and helping to retain length. So my first tip is, gotta put the flat irons down, the blow dryers, the curling wands, the curling irons, all of that. You're gonna have to minimize it, or if you're able to just completely take it out of your life for a specific amount of time, then do so. I did it for a year. When I first started, I said I was gonna do it for like 6 months, but once I got into a routine, I stretched it out to a year. And so the next tip is to wash and deep condition your hair every week, or at least every 2 weeks. When I first started, I was washing my hair every Friday, and I know that sounds like a lot, because I thought it was a lot too. I was like, there's no way I can wash my hair every single week. But I did. Once I developed my routine and got in the habit of doing it, I didn't find it to be something that was so strenuous or took away too much time. I made plans. I had developed a habit. Every Friday evening is wash day. A good hair routine is key in having healthy hair and helping your hair to grow. So make sure you wash and deep condition. Deep conditioning is so important for the health of your hair and growing your hair. You have to find a really good deep conditioner. If you need some suggestions, look at my last video where I talked about some of my favorite natural hair care products. I featured several deep conditioners that I really like, so I'll place that video up here somewhere. Take a look at that video to get some suggestions on some really good deep conditioners. Number 3 is to develop a wash day routine and stick to it, which I kind of just talked about. Be consistent. Like I said, I will wash my hair every Friday evening, like around 7 or maybe 9 o'clock. I would start washing my hair, deep condition, oil and a cream, and then style my hair. And that was my routine every Friday. So develop a wash day routine and stick to it. Be consistent, and you will see results. Next is understand your hair. Whether it's low porosity, high porosity, whether you have fine hair, thick hair, dense hair, or sparse. Understanding your hair, what type of hair you have, really makes a difference as well in being able to grow your hair and retain the length. For more details on what low porosity or high porosity hair is, I do suggest you check out another YouTube channel called Green Beauty. I watched a lot of her videos. She really goes into detail about the actual science behind hair and your hair follicles and your scalp. And like I said, I highly suggest you check out her channel. Once again, that's Green Beauty. She has a series on what high porosity hair is, what low porosity hair is, what medium or normal porosity hair is. So I suggest you check out that video. But just in a nutshell, high porosity hair is when the cuticles on your hair follicles remain open, and which makes it really easy for your hair to take in moisture. Moisture is water. So when you're in the shower or if you wash your hair in the sink or whatever, and you notice that it doesn't take no time for your hair to swell up and fill up with water, then you probably have high porosity hair. Sometimes you can actually feel the cuticles, like if you pull a strand of hair out and rub your finger up your hair follicle, you feel like these ridges on your hair. If you have higher porosity hair, then you're gonna feel those ridges when you run your finger up the follicle of your hair. And like I said, high porosity hair takes in moisture really easy. It's not hard for it doesn't take forever for your hair to take in that water, and you know your hair is taking in that water because it kind of swells up. Kind of a con about high porosity hair is that as quick as that moisture is taken in, it leaves just as fast because those hair follicles remain wide open. So it takes in all the moisture real fast, but then the moisture don't stay there because those follicles are open, so the moisture leaves. And you can tell that by, like, after you've washed your hair and maybe you're, preparing to moisturize it or style it, and your hair dries really, really fast. And that's the issue I have. My hair is high porosity right up front, and the front of my hair dries super, super fast because this part of my hair is high porosity. The back of my hair is more of a normal porosity. And another way to determine whether or not you have high porosity hair is in the summertime, or if it's humid or if it's raining, your hair frizzes up really, really easy. That happens to me in the front because I have high porosity hair. And once again, when your follicles are hanging open and there's moisture all over the place outside, it's gonna swell up with all that moisture. So that's high porosity. Low porosity is the exact opposite. It means the cuticles on your hair follicles are shut tight, and it's very difficult for those follicles to take in moisture. So again, when you're putting water in your hair, you're washing your hair, you may notice that it takes a while for that water to really get into your hair to where your hair starts to kind of swell up. You have low porosity hair, and that means that it's more difficult for moisture to get into your hair. Therefore, your hair may seem like it stays dry all the time because those cuticles are closed tight. It's not letting anything in. So a tip to use to try to get your cuticles to open up is heat. So using heat when you deep condition. So when you put the deep conditioner on your hair, put a cap on it and sit under a dryer, or get a cordless heat cap. As a cap that you can put in the microwave. You can warm it up and then put that on your head. That heat makes your cuticles open up on your hair. So using heat, like doing steam treatments as well. You can get a steamer, sit under a steamer. A steamer kind of looks like a hair dryer, but all it is steam coming out, and that hot steam makes your hair follicles open up. So for any low porosity individuals out there, try one of those methods to try to get those cuticles open up so that your hair can take in moisture. And also for lower porosity individuals, you'll notice that your hair never frizzes up if it's raining outside. It just kind of remains the same. But yeah, those are just some really quick tips and things to determine whether or not you have high porosity or low porosity hair. So tip number 5 is moisturize. Moisturize, moisturize. Keep your hair moisturized. And by that I mean moisture equals water. Water equals moisture. Oil is not a moisturizer. I've even done it myself, and I've heard other people say, well, I need to oil my hair or oil my scalp, or things like that. But oil is not a moisturizer because oil does not have water in it. Your hair is only moisturized when water has been applied. And I know you're thinking, but Anika, if I have a hairstyle, I can't put water on it because it's gonna mess up my hairstyle. I know, I feel you. I understand, I've been there. But certain hairstyles that you may wear your hair in will allow for you to respray it with some water during, midweek. Like if you're wearing your hair in a high puff, where your hair is just out and you're wearing your natural curls, you can refresh it. You may want to refresh it every day or every 2 days. Spray it with some water and then reapply your leave-in or reapply a really good moisturizer just to re-moisturize your hair until your next wash day. If you wear your hair in a wash and go, you may like kind of spritz your hair a little bit and then scrunch in, put a little moisturizer in your hair and scrunch that moisturizer into your hair without or compromising your hairstyle. There's several ways that you can, re-moisturize your hair. You can go ahead and just kind of twist your hair up, like spray it with a little water, put some cream on it and twist your hair up to re-moisturize it, and then take the twist out the next day and rock a twist out. So there's just several different methods that you can use to moisturize your hair, in between your wash days, because keeping your hair moisturized is key to growing your hair and retaining that length. And in saying that, let me point out, everyone's hair grows. Let's just settle that. There's nobody on earth whose hair literally does not grow unless they literally have, a health condition that's affecting their body chemistry, and their hair will not grow. But everyone's hair grows. The issue is, are you retaining your length? The next couple of steps we're gonna go over is gonna make sure that you retain a length that you have achieved. Because you don't wanna go through all this work and helping your hair to grow and seeing some difference and seeing some changes in the length of your hair, only to end up having some damage and having some breakage and not retaining length. So these next couple steps, I'm going to talk about how to retain the length that you have achieved. So step number 6 is you want to do no to low manipulation styles. What is that, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. So a low manipulation style is a wash and go, meaning you're not putting a comb through your hair every day to style it. You basically putting a bonnet on your hair at night to go to sleep, and when you wake up the next morning, you take the bonnet off, just kind of shake your hair loose, kind of just fluff it with your hands, not using any combs. Twist out is another low manipulation style. Again, you're just putting a bonnet on your hair at night to sleep, and then wake up the next morning, take the bonnet off, shake your hair. There are some naturals who retwist their hair every day. That is a lot of manipulation if you're retwisting your hair. And remember, our goal is to retain length, and to retain length, we want to keep our hands out of our hair as much as possible. So when you do the twist out styles or the braid outs or your wash and goes, you don't want to keep redoing the whole style every 2 or 3 days, or in between your wash days, because then it's not a low manipulation style. Remember, the key is to minimize the amount of times that you're manipulating your hair, because every time you put a brush through your hair, anytime you put a comb through your hair is gonna come out, whether it's natural shedding or might be some breakage. That's why it's so important to keep your hair moisturized. A no manipulation hairstyle is braids, twist, mini twist, pulling your hair back or putting it up in a bun, like a top bun or a back bun. Those are some no manipulation styles, meaning you don't have to touch your hair at all. You just get up and go. I love those kind of hairstyles. Those are my favorite. And it's also called protective style. Wigs and weaves are a form of protective styles. You just have to make sure you maintain the health of your hair while your hair is underneath that wig, or while that weave is in your hair. Just make sure you maintain the health of your actual hair in the process, or while you're wearing your wigs and weaves. So the next tip number 7, be gentle when detangling your hair. Use wide tooth combs. You can also use a Demon brush or Felicia Leatherwood brush. I'll put pictures of both those right around this area. But again, you want to be very gentle when detangling. You don't want to cause any extra unnecessary breakage. So you always want to start at the bottom of your hair when detangling and work your way up. Don't start from the top and yanking your hair. Start from the bottom, work your way up when detangling. And always, always, always detangle your hair while it's wet. Don't ever try to detangle your hair when it's dry, because you're definitely going to break your hair off with the quickness. So if you need to get a spritz bottle, spray your hair down, and always detangle with water. And even a detangler, there's some creams out there that are really good with helping to loosen up the tangles. Spritz your hair with water, put some of that cream on there, and detangle your hair with that wide tooth comb and loosen up those tangles that way. That really helps to reduce the chances of breaking off your hair. Tip number 8 is use a good quality hair product. Use good quality hair products. And again, I talked about my favorite hair products in my previous video. That link will be in the description box. But you want to find good quality hair products. You want products that are free of sulfates, paraben, 100% natural. And what you need to do is just learn how to read the ingredients list on the back of your hair products. It lists all of the ingredients that are in that product. But you want to use good quality hair products like Mael Organics or Camille Rose or Shea Moisture. There's several really good quality hair product lines out there. So you want to make sure, again, you're using products that are paraben free, sulfate free, silicone free, and 99% of the natural hair products out there will say that on their label: paraben free, sulfate free. And last tip number 9, trim your hair on a regular basis. So I'm sure you're wondering, Danica, if I trim my hair, how am I going to grow my hair if I'm cutting it? It's absolutely necessary that you trim your hair on a regular basis. And a trim just means that, dusting the ends if that's all it's needed. But you want to make sure you don't have any split ends, because split ends, they just grow up the shaft of your hair and it's going to cause your hair to break. And you don't want any breakage. You want to minimize the breakage as much as possible. So you want to do regular trims. I get my hair trimmed professionally once a year. In between that time, I do some snips here and there myself because I wear my hair natural most of the time, most of the year. You can't tell if I cut one side shorter than the other. You can't tell, so it doesn't really matter when I do it. But when I need a really professional trim to get everything evened out, I do that once a year. But yeah, get on a really good schedule of trimming your hair. Everyone is different. You may need to trim your hair twice a year. Someone else may need to trim their hair 3 times a year. But you need to do what works best for you. And a lot of times you can tell when your ends need to be trimmed by the way it looks. If it looks all sparse and uneven, and also by the way it feels, especially when it's wet. When your ends feel really rough and dry. So that's an indication that it's time for a trim. So those are my tips on how to grow waist length hair. These are the things that I did to get my hair to this length. Yeah. Okay, so I want to show you the back of my hair because I know the front don't look like it's waist length, and I don't want y'all to think I'm lying. But I'm going to turn around and show you the back of my hair so you can see how long it has gotten. So as you can see, my hair is waist length. There's my waist. Okay, Mobley Culture, here is the first picture of my hair freshly washed. When I first stopped using heat, you can see how my ends were all straight and raggedy. That is from heat damage. This second picture is what my hair looked like before I stopped using heat. You can see the length of it. This is how I wore my hair every day. This next picture is how my hair looks today after it's freshly washed. You notice it's much thicker, much fuller. My ends are also much healthier because there's no heat damage. And this is how my hair looks straightened. And you can see all of my length. And I'm thinking I want to do a serious cut because this is a little bit too much hair for me. But anyway, thank you all for all your support. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Hit that notification bell so you are aware every time we upload a new video. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Deuces.